So I've just moved into my new studio, and as you can see, it's a bit of a mess. Besides getting this place organized, the first thing I really want to do is set up my workstation. So today I'm going to be assembling my desk, and I'll walk you through the design and take you through the process I used to make it. So I want to share with you a few lessons and tips I learned along the way to help you for your next furniture project. So I didn't design this desk, this guy did. His name is Enzo Mari, and he was an Italian designer. Throughout his career, Mari designed thousands of things, including games, kitchenware, furniture, and objects. He also published this book called Autoprogettazione. It's a furniture making guide which provides people with limited skills, materials, and tools to make their own furniture. The book is filled with all of these interesting designs for tables, chairs, beds, and cabinets. So for my desk, I chose this one. It's actually designed to be a dining table, but I wanted to make it into a desk. So I thought I'd take my sketchbook out and reflect a bit on the design and how it all came together. Okay, so I've just started by outlining this central stretcher piece. And this is basically what provides support to the desk in this direction. So it's basically acting like a structural beam for the desk. And you can see this X shape that I'm drawing here is actually what connects the legs of the desk together. And then the stretcher is basically sandwiched by these two horizontal members here and here, and then these pieces are connected to the legs, which are made up of two pieces of wood. And so finally we have the top of the desk, and that's just made up of a sheet of birch ply which sits on top of the stretcher and legs, and it's just screwed in from below at each connection point, here, 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 and here. So if we take a look at one of the desk legs in elevation, you can see how the two members taper down to a single point. And then we have the other two members of the stretcher, and these are connected to each other just with screws at all these connection points like this. Okay, so if we take a quick look in plan, we can start to see how this stretcher piece is actually connected to those two horizontal members here and here. And of course these have a bit of a thickness to them, like that. And then the desktop sits above, like that. And you can kind of get an understanding of the connections where we have screws here and here, and then there is 4 there. So here I've printed out the construction drawings, and I made these drawings for two main reasons. Firstly, I guess I used the process of making them as a way of ensuring I understood how everything fit together, and secondly, I made a few adjustments to the original design that I wanted to test out in the drawings. And for a small project like this, I was easily able to fit all the drawings onto one sheet. So in terms of drawings here, I've got a plan and front and side elevations, and these were all drawn at 1.5 inches equals a foot. In metric scale, that's 1:10. So in order to figure out how much timber was needed to build a desk, each member was identified with a label, and then this table lists each piece of timber and records its size and quantity. And this chart, which is typically called a cut list, is then used to cut out each piece of timber to the correct size. So assembling the desk doesn't actually take that long, it's just a matter of closely following the drawings. Thankfully, all of the pieces have already been cut out and just need to be screwed together. So, what did I learn from making this desk? What's the point of laboring over some passion project when we can just order a pre installed piece of furniture from the comforts of our couch? Well, I think it all goes back to Enzo Mari's philosophy. The process of making has so many valuable lessons. It teaches us to think about the qualities of materials, their capabilities and limitations, and when we develop making skills, we become more self reliant and gain a critical eye. And I think many of these skills are transferable to architectural practice. We can learn to appreciate the size of things and increase our understanding of how parts can be assembled in beautiful yet efficient ways. We can learn how to document our process and also get a new understanding between what is drawn and built. This desk is definitely crude, imperfect, and honestly a bit clunky. It has a stain on it where I once tried to add a finish to it. I still notice the pencil marks I never rubbed off and missed screw holes. It's far from perfect, but it does mean something to me. It made me feel self reliant when I made it. And I guess I've grown to enjoy its imperfections and take pride in the fact that I made it using my own hands. And I think there's a kind of a spirit in making things, like a way of thinking, that can help us as designers. And I'm definitely hoping to take that mindset to my next project.